Hey. Alright. Sorry about the chair noise, but this is going to be a video about how to add a second Z button to your phob2 board. So let's get right into it. First of all, download the PCB files. This is phobgcc, phobgcc v2 hardware, and yeah, KiCad, and you should be able to get it right here. So anyway, you open that in KiCad, and what you do is you actually open the KiCad profile, and then from KiCad you open the KiCad underscore PCB file. You double click on that and the board should come up just like that. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna modify this side right here to accommodate the Z button, just like on this side. So first I'm going to only look at edge cuts because that's the outline of the board. I'm gonna only select graphics because that's what that is. So first of all, grab it, Control C, Control V. Okay. That happens a lot. Sometimes it won't grab that part, but you definitely want to get it. So let me just try one more time. That time it got it. So Control C, Control V. Then I'm gonna flip it. I'm just gonna set it right here. Alright. So in order to make the Z button work, you're gonna want them to be parallel with each other. So the way you're gonna do that is you're gonna check out this line, right click it, and go to Properties, and you're gonna check out its Y value. So I'm gonna copy that. Then I'm gonna come over here and grab this one, which is the equivalent on that side, and I'm gonna change its Y value. Make sure you get both endpoints. So now those are gonna be parallel with each other. Alright. Next, you're gonna wanna select the rest of this stuff. So I'm talking this part. So you select that, and let's make sure you get everything. If you missed part of the selection, you can hit shift click. You can shift click it, and it should add it to the selection without losing the rest of it. So like you can do that and grab multiple things like that. So just grab it. Alright. And then what you do is you grab it. Oh, I selected. You don't select this part. Yeah. Oh, I keep selecting it. You get what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to shift click that part and select it. Yep. And now you're going to grab the whole thing. Oh my god. So that time I didn't grab that part. It's all good though. Let's just try it one more time. And then shift click that. Okay, we have the whole thing. And you're going to grab it. See, so you grab it. And then you zoom right up on here. You want to grab it by the end, by the way. And you see that little circle? That's how you know that you're connecting it. So now it's connected and it's all good relative to itself. And then what I like to do is I like to go up to this one so we can get both of them to be symmetrical. So I'm going to go here, check its properties, and I'm going to see the X value. I'm going to copy that. And then, because they're going to overlap, so it's going to be hard to see, I'm going to delete that, and delete that. Alright. So, yeah, just making sure I didn't do anything I didn't want to do. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and grab the properties, and I'm going to paste that X value. Okay, so now it's right where it should be. And then you're going to do the same thing. Grab this, and then grab it just like that on the pinch it on the end. Zoom in right here, and make sure you get the little circle, and that should be right. So you're going to notice that it pretty much just aligns perfectly with this cutout, and that's going to go to a peg, so you definitely want that. And just to double check, we're going to come back here, check the properties. It's 28.737107 on the Y, and we're going to check this one more time. 28.74, so I think it's a little off. Let me just... Did I get it off? Yeah, just a tiny bit off. Huh. I see. Okay, so now just to fix that, probably just grab it. I'm shift clicking all these parts like how I showed before. Okay, that should be everything. Actually, just before I do that, I'm gonna make sure I save the X here. Alright, so now that I have that X, now I'm gonna see if I can get all this. Let's check the X value here. And didn't change, so that should be perfectly aligned. It should all be connected to itself. And if I just check that one more time, it's 28.73107. And it connects to the Z button directly. And I come over here. It's 28.737107. So now everything should be perfectly aligned. So now we can go ahead and delete these. Don't need them anymore. Get that. Okay, next, this is gonna be pretty easy. We're just gonna shorten this and then connect it to here. And the way you do that is you select it, grab it, and then just get that circle going like from before. And I just make sure that it's perfect. There we go. Just like that. Beautiful. And now we're going to do the same thing on this end. Make sure that it's all connected. So first thing I'm going to do is grab the X value one more time, just in case I make a mistake. And then see right there? This part doesn't matter nearly as much because it just makes a straight line. But yep, so everything is perfectly aligned. So now you have a perfect edge cut for your board. And if we if we make everything back to how it looks, you'll notice that there's something wrong going on. You know, this is still here, and there's that part, but don't worry, we're gonna fix all that. Only thing you gotta pay attention to though is that if you go to view and you hit 3D viewer, you see that? Because we changed the edge cut, that's correct now. So we're gonna fix this now. First of all, on the silk screen, see it right here? I like to delete the phob GCC text if I can select it. Oh, gotta go back to, okay. So yeah, select the silk screen, and then should be able to just grab them. Right? Weird. I didn't have this problem before. I was able to just kind of grab different parts of the yeah, I was just able to grab like individual bits of the silk screen and actually make it make a change. Oh, it's because my selection filter, we had it only on graphics, so we're gonna put that back to all items, and yep, now you can select it. So I'm actually going to yeah, if you want to, you should be able to edit footprint by clicking properties and clicking edit footprint if you want to replace the ghost. But because I think it looks a little ugly and I think it's going to get in the way of the Z button, so I'm actually going to delete this text right here. I'm going to delete Mr. Ghost. So yeah, remember to get your selection filter right. That was a quick little mistake. Okay, next, before we fix all of this, I'm actually going to get the traces right here. And what's interesting is that you see this purple, like this purple box, that kind of, all of this is connected. So what you can do is you can actually you can just select only this part, hit Control C, and then do Control V. So I'm actually going to set it over here like we did the last one, and notice that it's got a rotation of -30. We're going to change that to +30, and that's going to get it correctly rotated for this side. Okay, next I'm going to hit Properties and hit Edit Footprint, and I'm actually going to remove these larger circles, these larger pads, because I have no use for them personally. If you want to find a way to include them, you're more than welcome to, but for me, I'm going to delete them just like that. Do I have to hit save? Okay. So yeah, the reason I deleted them is because they get in the way of this hole in the board, and I just don't want to deal with it. I'm going to be using a mouse click bracket for this part, so doesn't affect me. Alright, so one more thing is properties here. Take notice of the Y. Copy that. I don't know if there's a way to get it to be perfectly symmetrical in the X direction. Haven't figured that out yet, but I'm just gonna eyeball it. But I definitely know I can make the Y symmetrical, so I'm definitely gonna do that. So now you're gonna grab it and move it and get it, you know, kind of in the right spot. Just eyeball this part. That looks good. Okay, next, properties, and then get the Y to be the same, 35.505. I was super close on my eyeball, and just make sure that that looks clean and that there's no overlapping going on, like right here. I don't think, oh wait, no, that's fine. It's not overlapping with the edge cut, it's just overlapping with the drawing. So if I, yeah, see, it's just the edge cut that you want to be aware of. Let's turn off user drawings. So that looks pretty clean. And especially for mouse click, this isn't going to be super specific exact. It's not like it's going to mess anything up because you just basically just solder them onto the wires. So I think that's pretty good. And see if the larger pads were there for attack Z, that would have gotten in the way. So, yep. There we go. That's a good part of it done. Let's view it one more time in the 3D viewer, and look how good that looks. So you have this, that's your Z button, and that's your ZL. And if you go to the other side, you'll notice that they look the same. So it's got the gold pads on that side, gold pads on that side, so it's really, really clean. Next, what we're going to do is notice how on this one, it has actually traces. It has Z. This pad is connected to Z through the RP2040, and that's connected to ground. So to actually make it so that if you solder a Z button onto this and then you click the button, it will do something. We're gonna make the pads the traces for that. So I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. So for that, I'm going to make everything invisible except for the first copper layer. And I'm going to show you how I like to do the traces for this particular part. Okay, first of all, we're going to start with 2, because 2 is where Z is. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 connect to this. This is GPIO. General purpose in out, you should be able to program it so we can actually have the button do something. Notice that this is a minefield and that it's probably going to be super hard to find a way to get the things to connect, but I figured it out, so I'm just going to show you how I got it. So first of all, you're going to click on that, hit properties, and net name, it says no net. You're going to want to change that to GPIO15. Okay. See, and then a line's going to show up connecting it to GPIO15, aka this pad. So now we were just on select items, this arrow. We're going to change to route tracks. So let me show you how I like to do this. Click it and make one here. Move it a little bit. Get it right here. Move it here. Move it here. Okay. Then you're going to want to move it just like that, and maybe here. And that's about it. That's looking really nice. So next, you're going to want to go right here. Add freestanding vias. What this is going to do is it's going to connect the first copper layer to the second copper layer. So yep, just like that. See that? GPIO15. It's not actually connected yet though. So we're going to do that now. So you're going to turn that off and turn on the second copper layer. And you notice that you actually still see the via. So we're going to go back to route tracks and click it. Oh, I've made a mistake. I am actually selecting the wrong layer. So make sure you're selecting the second layer, which is the blue one, and then route tracks. So we're going to go like this. Make one like that. Make one like that. Make one like that. make one like that. And then make one like that. Boom. And now we have it connected. Now that looks a little ugly, so I'm probably going to fix that. I think there was a mistake right here. Yeah, okay. So, oh, we don't want to select that. My bad. Let me just, okay. So, this will kind of show you what you're selecting. So I want to select that and delete it. And now, yeah, let's, okay, that should be good. And now, all right, that's a little ugly. We'll fix that. So I'm going to delete that, grab this one, and just move it right there. Just like that. All right, so notice how this is the general purpose in out, and it's going around here. Goes into that via, which then goes into the next layer, and we finally get to our Z button. So that's that done. Next, come over here, select that, properties, and for net name, you're going to change that to GND, ground. Okay. So let me just deselect everything. Now, what we're going to do is, the wiring is pretty much done, and the only thing left is to clean up the kind of board, how it looks like this, how like that didn't change, and notice how there's emptiness between all of the traces, but not on what we made, so we're going to fix that right now. You should be able to just click it, which will select the entire copper layer, right click it, and then to zones, you're going to want to hit fill zone. And look what just happened. All of a sudden, our zone is matching with our edge cuts, and it's recognized our trace, and it's made sure not to fill that in, which is really cool. Next, do the same thing for the blue one. Right click, zones, fill zones, just like that. So now you're going to notice two things. First of all, I already mentioned, you're going to notice that there's emptiness between our traces, and of course what that does is it makes it so that nothing's shorting, which is awesome. Yeah. So the second thing you're going to notice is that on the second layer, which is the blue one, ground has been connected. It automatically connected it for us because the entire blue layer is ground. It's flushed with ground electricity. It completes the circuit like that. So GND is connected through that, and GPIO 15 is connected through that, which we just did. All right. So we're pretty much done. Just going to make a couple little things. First of all, user drawings right here. That's no longer accurate to what we're doing. So I don't think user drawings is actually an important thing. Yeah, like see, user drawings is showing, that's how the button pad would lay on the board. The start button, the ABXYs, just kind of got some stuff going. But for here, it's a little distracting relative to the edge cuts, so I'm actually just going to remove part of it. So delete that, delete that, delete that. And that's a lot better. So now the user drawings is going to look a lot more accurate, and it's not going to distract you. Okay, one last thing that I'm going to change is right here, that little ground via, it's kind of being cut off because we trimmed the board, and that's a little bit of a shame. So I am going to fix that real quick. So let's look at the edge cuts and let's look at the copper layer, and you're going to notice it's not right. So we're going to right click it, hit properties, and then for position on Y, should be able to just change it to like something tiny, like 29.2, just a little bit more. And now it's going to be inside the boundaries. I might change it a little bit more. I think 29.25 would be too much, but maybe 2.3. Yeah, see, that's looking really nice. So there's some room there, and there's some room there. And the ground is no longer being messed with. And I think with that, we are done. I think that's a really nice job. Just go to the 3D viewer one more time, take one last look, and you're going to notice that after what we did with the copper layers, you can see it, the trace, it goes here, and it actually goes under this piece, but I don't think that matters. And I don't think you can view the second layer's traces. Maybe you can on the backside. Yeah, you can. See, we made that, and that's the via that we made. So you can visually see the work we did and how it would work. And oh, this is a little difficult to use for me, but you should be able to see on this side that ground is connected. See? So everything is looking perfect. You can even see that this hole right here is no longer being kind of cut up. So everything should be good. These are parallel with each other. Let me just make sure. A way I like to make sure is I'll do a select box and see that. See how the left and the right line up perfectly, and then see how the pads for the Z button, they line up perfectly. So yeah, super clean job. And that should be it. Next, you can do File, Save Copy As, and you can save it as phozl if you really wanted to. I'll call it phozl video because I made this on video. Just like that. And now you have it. Super nice. Super clean. Double Z button phob has been made. That's about it. See you later.